job, buddy. That was a very, very impressive performance today. Great job, everybody. Great job. Very proud of you, buddy. You had to work your butt off for that one, man.
The RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series tonight, the HAAGTV 100 from the USA International Speedway, live on LSRTV. Field is doubled up behind the iRacing Ford First Mustang pace car, and PD Zeller up at broadcast booth along with myself, Evan Pasoko. PD, we got one more pace lap before we get this thing kicked off. Going to be race number 3 on the year.
Good to see a lot of good race tonight. The high banks of USA really provide good short track racing. Just about half-mile track, actually 3/4 of a mile. These cars will be racing side by side with the banks tonight. Should be fun to watch.
Newly iRacing with the newest build here, the night version of this track, so going to be under the lights in Lakeland, Florida. You mentioned the banking, 14 degrees for the USA International Speedway, and we're going to get things kicked off. Pole sitter driving the number 70 machine, it is going to be Dylan Canova on the top. Tim Bills will actually be given the Perry Plummeted Heating Cool Pole Award, but he starts deeper in the pack. Pace car down, and we get set to go green flag racing as the top two bring us at a quarter number 4. The 10 machine tries to get to an advantage. That's Anthony Bunch, and he's going to beat Dylan Canova to the line. The 10 machine right up on it. Going to be side by side for second. 92 challenging. That's Tony Monge.
Very interesting start. We had their thing single file out till about 3rd place, then you go back to 4th and 5th. 5th is about the real battle where Justin Fuller is making his way underneath the 17. The 37 goes high to almost 3 wide there. Thought better of it. 51 and the 17 are racing side by side. Same with the 21, 37. It looks like Justin Fuller might be able to clear him, and he will clear him into 1.
A lot of side-by-side battling going on. The 17 and the 21 kick it all off. That is the battle for 6. You mentioned Justin Fuller was able to get clear. 17 on the outside, 21 down on the inside. Manger with the advantage at the moment coming out of quarter number 4. Can he clear the number 17 machine? Not quite expect him to do so in 1, and he will pull up in front. On quarter entry, 116 machine try to make it too wide. He will. An aggressive move by Dale O'Neill to get to the inside. Going to get real close to the door of that 17. He's able to keep it off him for the time being, but still too wide essentially from this part on back. Lots of checking up in 3 through the rest of the field. Too wide, about 3 rows deep.
They're racing side by side. Tim Bills just caught a little piece of the wall, not a big deal. These cars can handle a lot of impact, very tough short track cars. They're still side by side for about 8th now with the number 23 and 37. Tim Bills dropping back quick. He can just not find a hole. And the outside can be relevant at USA, but not this early in the race. The tires being this cool, you're going to want to be on the low line. And right now, the 7 of Matt Wright is getting underneath the 37 of Tim Bills, and they're going to race side by side. Tim Bills got a little loose coming off the quarter. That was close. And battle simmers down as Tim is still falling back pretty fast.
Glad to have you with us tonight live on LSR-TV. Side-by-side battle was going to happen, and actually now we got trouble back in the pack. Caution flag going to fly. 1 car, 2 cars around. on what appears to be that front straightaway. Looks like the backstretch actually going to bring us under caution, and it starts with contact at a quarter number 2, the 128 machine, and the 05 up on the high side. It looks like it was Chris Cable who was first hit by the 128 machine and got turned. 05 tried to correct it, ended up coming down over the nose of Kevin's machine there, and both those cars got put into the inside wall. That's going to put us under our first caution flag of the night here, and immediately going to go to a full field rundown because we were unable to get to the grid there pre-race due to some technical difficulties, to say the least, here tonight. So we're going to get it kicked off. Currently in P1, Anthony Bunch, Dylan Canova sits second, Tony Monge in third, Michael Sweeney in P4, Justin Fuller 5th, Kyle Manger P6, 7th position to Philip Thompson, Dale O'Neill sits at 8th, 9th position to Ryan Borges, and at the moment it is Christian Peterson who rounds out the top 10.
Currently in 11th, Matt Wright in 12th is Tim Bills, started up high and is falling back right now. L. Smith in 13th. Thomas Parker is in 14th. Justin Brooks won the first 2 races of the season in 15th. Blake Roll in 16th. Cody Myers in 17th. Kevin Cremontier in 18th. Mike Vandish in 19th. And rounding out your top 20 is Nicholas Ramusin.
Richard Haskins is 21st, 22nd. Eric Tupper, Eric Haag, title sponsor on tonight's race. You see HAAGTV on his machine. He rides right now in P23, 24th position to Dan DeBook, Jackson Lewis in 25th. 26th is Kevin Baker. Chris Cable back at a number 27 position, involved in that incident with heavy damage. 28th is the 3 machine of Richard Holiday, and 6 laps down and is Zachary Mason. That car did take the green flag, and actually didn't notice this, Speedy. Zachary Mason got turned on the drop of the initial green flag by the 157 of Blake Rowe into the inside wall, immediately lost that engine, and his night is already done. And then he ended up disconnecting, lagged out of the session to receive throughput, fell to an unacceptable level.
Very tough break for him. It's really rough whenever you hit the inside wall at USA because there is no safer barrier on this wall. So whenever you hit the wall, that will happen. Really stinks that had happened on not even the first lap. He didn't even make it to the green flag, and I know how that feels. And you got to feel for Zachary Mason, who came into this race looking to log some laps. He really was looking forward to racing these guys. Made the show. I know he was really excited about that. Just a tough break, and it happens sometimes in racing.
And it has been a dominating performance by Justin Brooks II so far in this season. He sits back in 15th. Does he have enough time to get back up to the front? He has gone to victory lane 2 times this season. He sits at the top of the championship standings, obviously with those 2 wins, as 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s in these first 2 starts on the year. Brandon Otto second in the championship standings, and Matthew Wright third. Those are the only other 2 drivers that have top 5s in both their starts so far. As the lights go off for the pace car, they are both 14 points back in a title hunt. 19 back is Joshua Cotton into number 4 spot. Dale O'Neill is 5th. He's 21 out of it. 28 back is Justin Fuller. 7th position is Nicholas Rasmussen. He's 31 back. 34 back is Philip Thompson at 8th. 9th, Al Smith Jr. He's 35 back. And 39 out is the rounding out the top 10, Tony Monge in P10. But after the first 11 races, we do go to a 5-race chase to the championship. 12th in points is going to be the cutoff. Not really a factor now, but something to keep an eye on, because in short track racing, it's very easy to lose a lot of spots if you find yourself at a wrong end of, or rather on the receiving end of that chrome horn. Green flag back in the air. 10 machine Anthony Bunch going to use the outside lane. He's clear on the inside of Dylan Canova. Challenged temporarily. Michael Sweeney going to drive it in hard on the outside for P2.
Michael Sweeney hung tough on the outside in that restart, but won't be quite enough. Dylan Canova has a backstretch of 69. First battle right now is right around that 8th position. The 116 and the 17 are racing side by side, followed close behind by Ryan Borges, and the 23, Matt Wright, is looking for a hole but cannot find one. They're racing very tough here, as Philip Thompson's just trying to find a way around Dale O'Neill, and he will.
Looks like it's the Aaron's Chase Elliott design-inspired machine that he has on his Chevrolet, being the 116 of Dale O'Neill. And now trouble. Caution flag to fly for trouble down to back. Straight away, somebody deep in the pack. It looks like Tim Bills has some heavy damage here on the left side of his machine. He is going to be the cause of the caution, and it was assisted. As we take a look at this replay, we get it up to number 37 of Tim Bills. Had some assistance, got turned by the 157 of Blake Rowe off the corner. Very close to call. You can say the 37 came down a little bit. We take a look at it live right now. Looks like the 37 may have come down, trying to trace the number 33 of Justin Brooks in front of him. You could also argue in the same regard, Blake Groh may have pushed up. Nonetheless, the 157 drives away, and it's the 37 that he has so much damage speed because he hit that inside wall at nearly the worst part right there where the access is to the infield, so that wall is not, parallel with the racetrack. It's got an angle, backed it into there. It's got some pretty severe rear end damage. Going to be forced to bring it down pit road.
The angle which he hit that was the worst possible. If it was just a straight wall, he'd still be in the race with very minimal damage. But his bumper was exactly equal when he hit that wall, so it just flattened it. And that's a tough break for him. If you're going to hit the wall, you definitely don't want to hit it on that edge because that will give you the most damage, and that will really affect your speed. Last week we were at a little short track Lanier. He might be able to recover from this damage, which he might be able to too this week. But at a bigger track like USA, the car being damaged becomes a bigger issue because with the longer straightaways, you need that speed to keep up with everyone else. And if he can't get that fixed to a certain extent, he might have some trouble moving forward.
And as we work under the second caution flank, and to quickly run down last race's results when we were at Lanier for race 2 of 16 on this 2014-2015 campaign. Again, the season 4 of the Upstate Racing League on LSR-TV, the Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series. This is a fixed setup series. Lanier last week, race number 2, and again, we mentioned back-to-back trips to victory lane for Justin Brooks. No incident points, kept it clean up front, started in 6th position, was able to get up top, never looked back. He takes home the win. Brendan Otto would come home with the second place result. Matthew Wright got 3rd. Ryan Borges would be in P4. Dale O'Neill 5th. Joshua Cotton 6th. Kyle Manger 7th. Richard Holiday 8th. 9th. Chalmers Parker and Robbie Roy will round out the top 10. And again, it's no coincidence that the majority of those names you see correlated to the top 10 in the championship. Again, only 2 races young so far into this season. Next race on LSR TV with this series actually going to be in about 3 weeks. We do have 2 weeks of an off break here, and then around 4 going to be the KNR Construction 150 at the Arundel Speedway Outer Loop, 150 laps. That one going to be coming up on November the 20th. So quite a little bit of an off break here, PD. So almost these drivers have to consider this as the longest break they have of their season. Nobody wants to have to sit for 3 weeks and, have to sit on a bad finish. Because it can really hurt momentum. Momentum is so key in racing.
Definitely. You do not want to leave this race and finish 20th. If you finish 20th tonight, you're going to have to harp on that until November 20th, and that's a long way away. It's only October 30th. That's around 20 days. Would be very tough. I wouldn't want to harp on that, I know. But if you win this race, on the other hand, you will get positive momentum. And winning this race, you are the man for the next 20 days, and no one else will beat you for the next 20 days, and you go into the next race with just a load of confidence.
Lights back off at a pace car auto. Remind everybody about the awards going to be handed out tonight. The Perry Plumbing Heated and Cooling Pole Award was given to Tim Bills. He did start 6th, but he will be given that award for the fastest qualifying time. The Philip Thompson Racing Hard Charger Award as well for most positions gained. The NHR Racing Rookie of the Year for the highest finishing rookie. And the D's Pit Stop Sportsmanship Award for the highest finishing driver with the least amount of incident points. Third restart coming up. It is going to be the number 10 machine on the outside lane. Hangs back a lot more than last time. Going to pay due dividends because he is gone. Dylan Canova tried to guess when he was going to go and got beat on that one by quite a lot. It's going to be Tony Monge who slides in the second. One car away at the racetrack to 116. We're 3 wide as everybody tries to get around it. It's the 17 who really backed out of it. He's going all the way to the back. That's Philip Thompson.
Very tough break for him as there's some good side-by-side battling going right now. Justin Fuller is battling with Kyle Manger. Will make quick and easy work out of him as Justin Fuller trying to get to this field. Things single and file and out until you get to about 9th place, and even that just got single file. This track's very single file right now. The first real battle is Al Smith Jr. and Justin Brooks, and Al Smith will actually clear Justin Brooks here.
And for a moment, this entire field single files out for what I believe may be the first time tonight, and it has to attribute to the big checkup that kind of got everybody scattered, spaced out, and unable to really stay tightly packed together. 70 machine, who's riding in 3rd, Dylan Canova, just did not get the entry he wanted down at 1 and 2, entered way too hot, was not in the preferred lane, and that's going to allow the number 69 of Michael Sweeney to get to the inside. He'll bring the 51 right with him. Justin Fuller, 3-time defending series champion, who has not made a trip to victory lane yet. You want to call that a drought? Sure, considering he is still top 6 in the championship standings, but he wants to make a statement against the car that has dominated all season long. Justin Brooks the second, and the 51 machine of Fuller is able to slide up into 4th, more side-by-side behind them. 116 machine once again, PD Dale O'Neill stuck on that high side and going backwards.
He is falling backwards. Being on the outside is not very good when the tires aren't extremely worn in. And the 7 will make quick and easy work out. As the number 32 of Ryan Borges had a great car last week, trying to back that up this week as he goes underneath the 116. And they are battling side by side. The first battle for position until you get the number 21 and the 70 racing side by side for about that 5th position. And the 21 will have the inside line, which seems dominant up to this point in the race so far. And the 70 better get down quick because there's a big line of cars behind him.
Yeah, it is the All-Star Performance machine that has been stuck up top. Can he get down in line? Not quite. That Chevrolet Camaro super late model is they're stuck up on that outside lane rather than late model. Going to be stuck up on that outside lane, and the 70 machine going the wrong direction. He's actually been doing a solid job of holding tough with the 21 of Kyle Manger. However, Kyle's able to get clear and going to bring the 23 machine right with him. That's going to be Christian Pedersen. You mentioned, PD, that he needs to get down because this is a huge line of cars. Oh, bumper to bumper. Almost had an attempted pass on Borges. 7 machine looked to the inside. That didn't translate to anything. And now it is Ryan Borges who's on the inside and is going to be the next person to take advantage of that 70 machine. And again, the 70's got to be kicking himself over that one because he was up in the top 3, had a pretty good gap, and maybe just a lapse in concentration or something, completely overdrove 1 and 2 and continues to go backwards. The bobble from the 7 able to hang on, and to the inside here comes the 33 of Justin Brooks. He's going to try to make a move on that 96 of Al Smith Jr.
Justin Brooks got by Al Smith Jr. Now he's underneath the number 70. He had to start way back to field 17th. He had issues in qualifying. His connection kicked him out of the session.
Ooh, he hit the 70!
He turned the 70.
Saw that one coming. Dylan Canova around in contact with another machine, the 157. Gonna get a piece of it. And I was watching that down the back straightaway, PD. We knew that that 70 machine was about desperate. And I was saying that, or to myself rather, when you were going over some stuff, but I was thinking to myself, the 70 machine has to shut the door. And as replay goes live now, I think he waited too long. He was clear going down into the corner, but that 33 machine has gone to, victory lane back-to-back times. You know he's going to be aggressive. Goes down to the inside, and by the time the 70 machine comes down to shut the door, the hard entry from that 33 of Justin Brooks II ends up he's there, turns the 70 machine around, and it'll be interesting to see what race control makes for the call on this one.
Reviewing that one, just from my perspective, it looks like the 33 got in there real hot. He was going about 111 when I hit him. All the other cars were going about 109, and they were behind him, and they had a lot of time to get down. If you look at his car and going in slow motion, you can see that he is going very sideways into the corner, and it looks like the 70 was kind of just his wall to slow down there. I think Brooks made they're going to award that one to Dylan Canova. They say he came down, so I guess I was wrong on that one.
It's a very hard position to be put in as race control on that, and you'll get these situations where, again, I feel like Canova was clear down that back straightaway, but he left the door open, PD. It's something in short track racing. You need to, shut the door. If there's a gap, even if it's really not a gap, that guy's going to shoot for it, especially if you've got a fast machine that Justin Brooks has that he's had the last 2 weeks. So I believe that the officials making the right call, obviously an aggressive move on the 33's part for only being about quarter distance through that race, but I think that incident could have been avoided if that 70 Dylan Canova had come down and almost blocked or, to visibly show that 33 that he was shutting the door, that that wasn't going to be an option down into the corner, and he left that window of opportunity there and then tried to shut it too late and evidently got turned around. Impressed that only one other machine got into that. I believe it was Blake Rowe. He's working some front-end damage on his late model. He got into the side of Canova there when he was turned around in the middle of the field, but that could have been a lot bigger because that was pretty close to the front of the field as lights are still on the pace car at the moment.
Well, Justin Brooks, like I was saying, he started deep in the field. He's up to 9th now, and we saw him do this last week. He got in a little bit of trouble last week. Fell back to around 10th, and we saw him march through the field, surely, but slowly and made his way up to the lead by about halfway point and just never looked back. I expect to see him have a little bit more of a challenge this week, a lot more competitive track. Looks like the guys up front really know what they're doing so far, and I don't think Justin Brooks is going to walk over the field like he did the last 2 weeks.
This racetrack a lot bigger, Petey, than the one that we were at 1 week ago, being Lanier. This one, again, 3/4 of a mile. That one was barely over a quarter, so a lot more room, I guess you could say, for these guys. The straightaways, I think, is the main part. A lot longer straights here.
Yeah, and that will create some very exciting racing because whoever gets the run, they have enough time to clear them going in the next corner, unlike Lanier, where it was very short straightaways. And if you get a good run off the corner, that is key here because you can clear the next guy, as we saw the number 70 of Dylan Canova almost do. Just looks like he timed it a little bit wrong as we get ready for a restart here, Evan.
We get set to go back green flag racing once again. The 10 machine of Anthony Bunch on the inside. Justin Fuller up on the outside lane. Again, 3-time defending series champion. Has a $40 bounty on the back of that machine if anybody can beat him in the championship this year. Pace car down, back under green flag conditions. Going to be the 10 machine with the advantage who chose the inside this time around. He'll be clear. No, 51 going to drive it in. Contact in the right rear. That's going to cause a checkup. 69 is on the inside. No room being given to Michael Sweeney. And Justin Fuller going to force his way back to P2.
The real winner in all that was Ryan Borges. When everyone else checked up on the inside, he just went flying on the outside up to 5th now. Is that he's racing side by side with the 21 first side by side.
Oh, trouble right behind him.
Trouble.
Couple
right
cars around.
Ooh.
The 33 is in it.
The 96, the 57.
We're still wrecking. Now the caution flag will fly. A couple of them are out in the outside wall. The 96, the 57, and the 3. And the first car that I saw is the 33 machine. That is our 2-time back-to-back winner on the season. And it looks like it is going to be caused by the 7 of Matt Wright. He overdrove that corner, Petey, and you have to feel bad for the 33 after the luck per se, the great start that he's had to a season. Wrong place at the wrong time. 7 machine bounces off the wall, and those two guys saved it. I mean, look at the 33 saving that car. Take a look at the wheel work on the 33. Unfortunately for that, it is Al Smith, I believe, who went down to the bottom in the number 96 car. And unfortunately, when he got down into the corner, the thing wasn't going to turn because he caught the grass, Pete. He got turned up and just destroyed the 57 car. And the 3 machine got kind of pushed into it by the 00, and that's how quickly you can get big junk on a racetrack like the USA International Speedway. And we're going to slow them down. We're going to quickly step away for our first caution, or our first caution on our end of things, rather. Going to go to commercial break. You're watching the Season 4 of the Upstate Racing League live on LSRTV, the Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series, the HAAGTV 100. Going to be coming up on the other side.
That was a veteran move right there, buddy. That was awesome. You're doing a great job. Fantastic job, buddy. That was a very, very impressive performance today. Great job, everybody. Great job. Very proud of you, buddy. You had to work your butt off for that one, man. seat there, man. Give those belts a good tug. Double check your steering wheel, get a good look at your switches. Get ready to go here, buddy. Pit crew, we get a thumbs up from everybody? Okay, whatever, our backup channel, make sure everybody's on it, can hear me. So you're going to be in the middle of a dogfight here. What do we need to try to do, do you think? Need to be a little tighter or a little looser?
Back live at the USA International Speedway, getting set for another restart. Front row going to be the same as it was on the last one. Anthony Bunch on the inside, Justin Fuller up on the outside lane. One of the main stories, Justin Brooks the second, getting some damage in that one. He's been the only car to go to victory lane so far on Season 4. Going to have to see how that affects him. Pace car down, 10 car off right away. 51 going to slide down in line and single file things out quite quickly. 23 going to get single file for third. And really, the top 10 single file before we even hit turn 1. Side by side's going to be back around P10. The 89 machine, first car up top.
First side by side battle is for
contact.
11th as they get rough racing back there. And now the first side by side battle is for around 14th. Real spread out here. As we get things picking up, though, again for 10th is the number 92 gets underneath the 71 here. But more closely up front, the 33 is underneath the 41s. They're racing side by side hard for 7th here. Justin Brooks has a little bit of damage, so it's really not that bad. He did a good job of keeping his car straight in that wreck. And he's still charging through the field as he clears the 41 and will try to work on the number 21.
And one more car up here in the field, the 51 of Justin Fuller is on the back bumper of our leader, and he is getting hit repeatedly by the 23 of Christian Pedersen, who is just letting him know that it's time to go or he's going to move him, because that 23 has shown the nose a handful of times, Speedy, and in short track racing, you're only going to bump him a number of times until you send him in and move him out of the way. 51 machine can actually catch the outside retaining wall. 23 look to the inside down the front straightaway. She got the door shut on him, and they remain single file. But these top 3 positions, all bumper to bumper right now for side-by-side battles. He's Eric Haag on the outside. He's in the wall a little bit.
Ooh, Fuller finally gives the 10 that bumper, got himself loose instead of the 10. The 3-time champion had a real rough week last week, wrecked his car about 3 times, was really frustrated, came in this week looking for a lot better run, as he cannot find a way around the 10 so far, though, as the 23 will get to his back bumper, and the 10's looking like he's holding up these 2 cars behind him.
How long do you wait to use the bumper, the chrome horn, as we start to close in on the halfway point in tonight's 100-lap feature event here? Does the 51 use it this early, Petey?
You know, this isn't a really long race. We've only been up in the booth for around 20 minutes, and we're already closing out halfway. The 51 has to find a way around that 10, because cautions could plague the end of this race. The 51 gets really loose, but saved it. Great drive by Justin Fuller, but like I was saying, he needs to find a way around that 10, because if a caution comes out, he wants to control that restart, and he will use the bumper. He's not being reluctant. He wants to find a way around that 10. He knows it's go time. As he's going to try to look down low. Does he get it? Yes, he's underneath the 10.
And caution!
Caution, no!
He gets to the inside. Caution will fly. It is the 61 of Dan Dubuque, who is into the outside wall in corners number 1 and 2 with Rent-A-Wreck on his machine. He's going to go around and going to be assisted on that one as we take a look at the replay for you. Lap 44 going down into 1. The 00 machine of Richard Haskins. Pretty much think you got to say he got in there too hot, went to the inside, and just slid way up off of that yellow line that you would expect somebody on the bottom to be running, Petey. Just ran over that 61 machine. Both those cars got sideways. 05 manually straightened out that 00 by getting him in the left front. 61 went around to collect himself into the outside wall, and that's what returns us to caution again, just as Fuller had gotten to the inside.
Very tough break for Justin Fuller. We saw a couple guys up front pit. Ryan Borges brought it in, actually hit the pit wall. I'm not sure if he was trying to fake it back out, but either way, he got on the pit road and he hit the barriers a little bit. Really surprised to see you guys pitting here this early. That was a top 5 car, but that will move some guys up in the field. But like we were saying, tough break for Justin Fuller. All that work just so he has to do it again on this restart.
This is actually some pretty substantial damage, Petey. It looked like he was going to fake it out. And this is Borges coming down pit road and had to commit to the inside, Petey. No quick fixes. His car's torn up. He's got a lot of repairs now from a self-inflicted error.
That was just kind of a oops moment there for Borges.
I can't say I haven't done that before, but it is strange.
He tore the right front. He tore the whole right side off that car, and ooh, man, that's something we just can't afford to race it. This one.
Yeah, so Borges, his machine torn up. He's got to go back out of pit road there right in front of the pace car. He brings it back down this time and is going to have to get repairs, but that is a tough break for Ryan Borges, who sits again in the top position. Been talking about the standings and all that throughout these yellow flags. We do have an in-race reporter, the number 98 of Eric Haag, who I believe has brought it down pit lane for some extent of service under this most recent caution flag. He cycled back to 11th position. Not sure if he did pit or not. No, he stayed out, but he was running up here. He's making some moves right now. Again, sitting in the number 11 position, started 25th with HAAGTV on his machine. Again, he is the title sponsor for tonight's HAAGTV 100. Check him out, youtube.com/user/HAAGTV. That's HAAGTV, or Twitter at HAAGTV as well, for more information on what Eric does, and give him some support, show him some love for being the title sponsor on tonight's race. The light's still on the pace car, PD, so it's going to give Borges some ample opportunity to try to get those repairs done. But I mean, you can't make that kind of mistake. I mean, and you said it, the whole right side of that car is just absolutely destroyed. Looks like it went through a bottle opener or something.
It does, and these are the type of things that happen in racing that I'm sure he'll go look back at later, and after the race he'll be watching this broadcast and he'll see him do that, and he'll put his head in his hands and say, oh my, did I really do that? But this is why I've personally never believe in faking it on a pit road, because half the time this does happen, and is it really worth it to try to trick the guy behind you into pit road?
So Borges goes to the back, but it is still the same front row that we have seen the final few times. And how about that 33 car up to 6? Green flag back at here. The inside is now the preferred lane for Anthony Bunch. He uses it once again. He'll get cleared down into quarter number 1. And how about the 23 car? 51 really throws it in on the outside. Did not expect that. Justin Fuller doing work on the outside lane. The 23 was about even with him, and now he finds himself behind as Fuller pinching down that inside lane. Contact between him and the 10 of Anthony Bunch. He'll slide back now side by side with that 23 of Pedersen.
He's trying to show some muscle, did not quite work out. Now Pedersen is under him. As the 33 Brooks dives in there behind him, almost direct. They all save it.
Oh, 33 is going around. Justin Brooks turned at a quarter number 2, and caution will fly.
He managed not to hit anything, though, but he just lost about 20 positions there. Tough break for Brooks, as I just commented on, that they were almost wrecking, and it looks like they did.
Back to caution, and I said it was the 33 of Justin Brooks II, who is looking to make it back-to-back trips to victory lane to get this season 4 kicked off. And it all started with the 51 being up top, 69 checked up, and the 33 of Justin Brooks, he got to the inside on the 21. Don't think he was expecting that, PD. Opened up the door, the 92 went to the inside, and it really wasn't enough room. You could say the 33 opened it up. He needs to give the rest of the room there. You could say the 92 made an unnecessary move. Nonetheless, 33 car goes around, gets passed by the remainder of the field, and he'll go all the way back and past the halfway point. I don't think he'll be able to recover from that to be able to battle for the W.
Ooh, it's definitely going to be a tough path ahead of him, as he will bring it down pit road. One thing I've learned on iRacing, though, is never doubt the good drivers, and sometimes they make magic happen. As much as I want to say I think he'll have a hard time getting back up, it's definitely not over for him. Many things could go his way, but meanwhile, Justin Fuller will be starting this race in third, and we saw him make some very exciting power moves earlier in the race. As Justin Fuller is still in third currently, so he'll be on the inside, and he'll have a better shot to get right to that back bumper of the 10, and we should be able to resume that epic racing we saw just before we went to the previous caution.
And going to try to get a copy on the radio with our in-race reporter, the number 98 of Eric Haag. You get a copy?
Yes, I do.
Eric, title sponsor on tonight's race. So before we talk all the racing, let us know what HAAGTV does.
Pretty much I am a YouTube channel. Just started up here a few months ago. I'm looking to grow, and I figured this would be a great opportunity. I ran last year in Upstate, and it was a really fun league. I know you guys covered, I think, 6 of our races, did a great job, and same with this year.
Now tell us about the racing so far. You sit back in P14 right now. That's quite a good improvement after starting back in 25th position. How is all the pit strategy and that looking here for the second half of this race?
I'm honestly just looking to survive. This race has pretty much been a war of attrition, and luckily I've been one of the few who haven't been part of a caution. I just about got spun here during the last restart, but luckily I saved it. But it's definitely been some tight racing.
Do you think that you have a car that's able to fight your way up through the front here and maybe put that Ford Fusion on the podium or maybe in victory lane? Do you think your car's strong enough to do so?
I honestly don't. I'm thinking top 10 will be a successful day for me. There's just way too many fast people in this league to get up there.
All right, well, Eric, you guys are coming up on a restart here. Like we said, you're in the second half of the race. Before we let you get back to the team radio sponsors, anybody shout-outs you want to throw out there?
Yeah. I'll go a shout out to Bon Stitch. Just watching him recently, I know he's a supporter of my channel, so I'll give a shout out to him.
All right, Eric, thanks for talking with us. We'll get you back to your team radio, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to you later on in the race here. And hopefully it's out there on track and not coming out of the infield care center. Good luck here in the second half.
Yep, thank you, guys.
So that is our in-race reporter, Eric Haag. Like we said, going to be starting in P14. That's going to be the outside of row number 7. The lights are once again off on top of the iRacing Ford First Mustang pace car. Interesting, Peter, to see that after the high side was attempted about 2-3 times, Anthony Bunch has decided to go back down bottom for these last, going to be 4 now, I believe, restarts. Pace car off. He'll be in control once again. iRacing memes on his car. Green flag in the air. The top 3 are not being separated at all. The 51 all over the bumper. The 10 car, 23 machine up high, trying to get the job done. Contact. Door banging side by side. Coming off the 2. They fight for the lead. 51 takes a look to the inside. They'll stay 2 wide.
Wow, and the 23 with another power move on the outside, but he just can't get clear of the 10 as they race side by side. 23 going to lead that lap. Justin Fuller looking for the whole side by side for the lead. The 23 on the outside, 10 on the inside. The 23 is showing his muscle right now. And can he clear him going into 3? I think he cleared him. Yes, the 23 will clear the 10, and Justin Fuller will go underneath the 10. And the 10 goes way up the track, and
caution.
that clears... Oh.
We got caution trying to look for a car that may have gone around the 128 of Kevin Cremonesi. Looks like that he has some damage. Cremonesi in his number 128 machine. Heavy black smoke pours from the back of that one. And, oh, it looks like a huge checkup. If we get the replay up, coming at a corner number. Going to take a look at his onboard. Replay coming live here. Coming at a quarter number 2. At a big battle, he was right up in front of Ryan Borges, PD. Borges went high because the 128 was checking up. Got turned, went back up, collected the 05. The 98, actually, who he just talked to. Got some damage from that one as well, but Kevin's going to get some damage, and with heavy black smoke and no quick fixes, looks like his may unfortunately come to a pretty short ending here as he's down on pit lane trying to salvage that machine.
Yeah, tough break for him. Looks like we had some good racing going on back there. But even better racing going on up front is Justin Fuller. He had cleared the 10, but the last scoring loop had him in 3rd. So all of that work again for nothing for Justin Fuller. We're just about to 40 laps to go. And it's go time. The 23 we saw make a very powerful move on the unwanted outside. Well, so-called unwanted, but he just showed why it might be wanted. He got by the 10 on the outside and showed us maybe a little thing that we're going to know later in the race about drivers making moves like that, but just some incredible driving by them top 3 before we got that caution flag come out.
And we were talking strategy again past the 60-lap mark in tonight's 100-lap affair, so this race quickly going to be coming to a close. Just about 38 minutes since the drop of the green flag had flown, so looking at about an hour distance in tonight's race. Again, it is the HAAGTV 100 from the USA International Speedway, the night version of this racetrack, new with the Season 4 build with iRacing coming out just about a couple weeks ago. It is the Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series. I want to give a shout out to the Lake City RC Speedway for being title sponsor on this series for the Season 4 campaign. The Lake City RC Speedway, nestled in the outskirts of Plattsburgh, New York. Lake City RC Speedway provides short track action for 1/10 scale RC cars. The track is located at 6155 Route 22 North in Plattsburgh, New York. The track has been in business for 13 years and provides a great atmosphere for racers from all over the Northeast. The track has 2 major events a year, one in the fall called the Autumn Blast and one in the early spring, the Jeff Sears Memorial Race. So Lake City RC Speedway coming on board. They are the title sponsor for the Season 4 Pro Late Model Series, and again, HAAGTV title sponsor on tonight's race. YouTube.com/user/HAAGTV. That's HAAGTV. Same thing on Twitter at HAAGTV as well. We talked to Eric, new upstart YouTuber, so give him some support here, driving with the Upstate guys week in and week out. Again, the awards that are going to be handed out tonight, if you're new to the Upstate Racing League, 4 primary awards that get handed out on each night. The Perry Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Pole Award will be handed out tonight, actually, to Tim Bills. He started a little bit further back in the back, but race control told me pre-race that Tim Bills would be getting that award. The Philip Thompson Racing Hard Charger Award goes to the driver who was able to pick up the most positions from start to finishing in the race. The NHR Racing Rookie of the Year goes to the highest finishing rookie, and the These Pit Stop Sportsmanship Award will go to the driver who finishes highest up the field with the least amount of incidents. Lights off, we get set for a lap 65 restart as the field cycles down into 3 and 4. The 23 of Christian Pedersen on the inside lane. Control car for the first time. The 10 is up top. That's Anthony Bunch. 51 old over the back bumper. The 23 green flag flies. 36 laps to go, and going to be nose to nose for second.
4 with a great restart underneath the 10 car here. As he races side by side for second. The 23 is looking in his mirror, waving goodbye. He got a great lead off that restart, but the 51 clears the 10. And now we're going to see a true battle for the leads. The 51 hasn't had this type of track position. The 10 way up the track. He's going to lose a ton of positions. He's going to cycle in around behind the 41, and caution's out on the racetrack.
Anthony Bunch had a huge bobble, and this caution will almost save him, as we're hearing the 17 machine may be involved in this one. Philip Thompson, who we just talked about, PD on the sponsoring the Philip Thompson Racing Hard Charge Award. Heavy black smoke pouring out of the back of his number 17 machine, and that looks like a 3-wide situation gone wrong. I know race control told these guys pre-race that they did not want to see people forcing it 3 wide. 17 was side by side with the 33 of Justin Brooks, and the 19 machine put that nose to the inside, tried to make it 3 wide. That was Mike Vandish, and didn't quite get down enough to those guys on the bottom. Turned the number 17 machine around and going head on into the outside wall. Looks like he did lose his engine. He's still going around, but still, again, heavy black smoke, PD. No quick fixes, which is one of the things that the guys here at Upstate do that many other leagues will offer some quick fixes, which is you can come down, get a brand new race car. All the damage is going to be fixed. You have no delay. It'll be brand new like it just came out of the shop. That's not an option here with Upstate Racing, so you got to come down there and get anything, if at all, fixed on that machine and get back out there. But no matter what happens, that car is never going to get back to top performance.
No, well not, and that's a tough break for him, but meanwhile, we commented on it. Look at who's making his way back to the field, the 33. Still might be a little too late, he's only up to 12th, but definitely making some progress here. Meanwhile, it looks like the 3 car of Richard Holiday has taken it behind the wall. He said that he was just struggling with some motor issues and wanted to get a look into that, so 3 car behind the wall, looks like he's done for the night. Meanwhile, we still have the number 23 of Christian Peterson out front, and new second place driver 51 of Justin Fuller. Some things have shaken up out front after the 10 went way up the track, we saw, and he's cycled around 6th, I think. And meanwhile, this should be just a lot of fun to watch Fuller and Peterson battle it out. Looked like they were pretty equal the previous few runs we've had.
Lights still on the pace car. Noticing if anybody's been taking a look at these cars throughout the race, a lot of pink sported on the 96 of Al Smith Jr., seen it on the 61 of Dan DeBuke. Looks like the 157 of Blake Rowe with some pink rims. The 89 machine has a pink car. That's Eric Tupper. Justin Brooks with some pink accents on his machine as well. I want to try to run through everybody here, give them a quick shout out. The 41 of Chalmers Parker running some pink. The 92 machine with some pink rims. That's going to be Tony Monge. Justin Fuller with pink numbers, pink rims as well, in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Maybe the final race here with the Upstate Racing League that we're going to see a lot of these guys sporting that pink as October comes to a close after tomorrow night. And again, while we're on that subject, 2 off weeks, but we will be back live on LSR TV. Going to be November the 20th. So 2 weeks off. So 3 weeks time will be our next race. That one going to be coming up. It is going to be the KNR Construction 150 at the Irwindale Speedway Outer Loop. Again, we talked about, Peter, you don't want to go into an off break here on a negative note, and a lot of these guys, including some of the guys that have run up front throughout the season, have struggled so far in this race. Look at that second half of the pack. A lot of drivers with some substantial damage here on their machines, and still a solid distance to go. It's going to be within 30 to go with this next restart. You lose about 5 laps, I'd say, on each yellow PD, so we have to remind everybody again, no green-white checkers. Once we get down to lap 95, as the lights go off at a pace car, once 95's in the books, caution flag would end this race. You know that's got to be weighing on the minds of our leaders.
Yeah, and Christian Peterson looks like he's going to take the inside line again. Next week, you said we're going to, in 3 weeks' time, we'll be going to Irwindale. If you thought this racing was fun, wait till Irwindale. They will be racing side-by-side, multi-groove track. Can't wait for that. Is there a come down to the green flag for you, Evan?
We get set to go back green flag racing. Going to be a lap 29 to go. Going to be lap 72 when we cross the start-finish line, but 29 laps remain. The 23 car on the inside control car, Christian Pedersen, started 12th. He sits first. Outside of the front row, Justin Fuller. Trying to make his first trip to victory lane. Green flag back in the air once again. The 92 of Tony Moan trying to started in 4th. He sits 3rd right now to the inside. He goes on the 51 of Fuller. Battle for 2nd at a 2, and they're really pinching each other down.
They're banging on the straightaways. The 92's underneath the 51. The 51 hanging tough on the outside. He's shown earlier that he can hang up there, but the 92 gets a good run, and he will not quite clear him, but he will have a good advantage on him going in turn number 1. The 51 hanging tough on the outside. The 92 just can't quite clear him, and the caution comes out.
The 9 machine of Jackson Lewis is around on the front straightaway. His Speed Energy Chevrolet has gotten back rolling. Going to try to get a replay on this one coming up. Looks like contact as replay goes live right now. 9 machine had some assistance, got sideways off the corner, and it was Ryan Borges who tried to make it 3 wide to take advantage. One more bubble at the number 9 machine. Ended up coming down across the nose, and they both went down through the grass. Borges used trimmed most of that grass down the front straightaway. He was able to keep going. But it was, again, Lewis's machine that spun out. He's able to get back going. Relatively minor damage. That's going to be another one of those calls that it'll be close to see what race control decides on the cause of that.
I think you have to put that one on the 9. I was wrong last time. I could be wrong again, but it looks like the 9 just got loose and came down across the bumper of Borges. Things have gone from bad to worse for Borges. He has a lot of damage as we are closing in on the last quarter of the race. 25 laps to go. Around that when we get the restart here. Should be a lot of fun to watch. They have given us quite a show so far, and I expect to see nonetheless. Fuller keeps getting rounded between 2nd and 3rd. This time he will be 3rd. New guy on 2nd will be the number 92. Haven't seen him up front much tonight, but now he has his chance to go battle for the lead with the 23, and they actually will give Jackson Lewis an EOL penalty for causing that wreck.
So Jackson Lewis to the back, the 23 still sits up front. Christian Peterson leads right now. You're watching the HAAGTV 100 on LSR TV with Season 4 of the Upstate Racing League, the Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series. We're going to step away for our final commercial break during the race in action. When we come back, a restart under 25 to go. Don't go anywhere. It's going to get only more exciting from this point. Back live tonight, the USA International Speedway for Season 4 of the Upstate Racing League, the Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series. Tonight, the HAAGTV 100 from the USA International Speedway. Evan Pasoko, PD Zeller up at a broadcast booth, and we are closing in on the final 20 laps in tonight's race. It is going to be 22 to go on this next restart control car. Going to be the 23 of Christian Pedersen, the 92 going to be up top. That is Tony Monge and Justin Fuller down on the inside of row number 3, third starting position. He, again, the three-time defending champion with this series, yet to go to victory lane so far. 6th in the championship standing so far. It's been to Keith Brooks, the second show. He sits 10th. We get set for a restart. Pace car down, 23 in control once again. He's on it. Green flag flies. 92 with a good restart. Does he force the issue? He'll jump down in line. Top 3 single file. Going to battle it out for 4th between the 69 and the 21.
21 on that outside line, 69 on the inside, racing side by side for 4th. Meanwhile, the top 3 have pulled a little bit of a gap like they have so far in this race, and the 69 will clear the 21, and that will shake things up as the 10 car who dominated the first half of this race is stuck on the outside. The 41 who gets way loose. Ooh, tight squeeze there. Meanwhile, the 10 will clear him, and the 41 will get down to the inside. Behind them, the 7 and 33. Lord, where's Justin Brooks coming from? As Justin Brooks makes a little bit of contact with him as he races side by side for 8th right now, and Justin Brooks trying to charge his way back to this field with just 20 laps to go.
Yeah, Brooks digging right now for what is going to be the battle for P8. He'll have the advantage at the start-finish line, but not clearing. The outside lane has proven to make it difficult so far tonight for those cars to get cleared. He'll get the job done as the 7 machine looked like the priority for Matt Wright was to get in line, not get trapped. More side by side now immediately in front of them. The 41 to the inside, that's Chalmers Parker on Anthony Bunch, who was just up front in the top running position. Now he continues to slide back. Now it's going to be the 33 of Justin Brooks, the next attacker on him.
I'm telling you, this 33 car is making his way through the field right now, and he's up to 7th. Next target, 41 and 6th. But up front, the 23 continues to lead. The 92 is falling a little bit back. As we go side by side on board with the number 33 of Justin Brooks, as he is just making a miraculous comeback. He has wrecked twice in this race, got his car fixed, and he is charging through this field. The real question is there enough time for Justin Brooks to get up front? He still has 6 more cars to pass, and he doesn't have a whole lot of time to do it. We will see moving forward, but I'm sure Justin Brooks, last thing he wants to see is a caution. He needs all these laps if he wants to get up front and battle with the likes of Justin Fuller and Christian Pedersen, who have just dominated this race so far, and Justin Brooks this season hasn't seen a lot of traffic, so we're going to see if he can handle it well here.
And Brooks continues to work at a number 7 position. He's got 2 things working against him: the laps to go and the distance. He may be fast, but still 2 seconds out of it. Don't think he'll be able to make up that time in what's going to be 16 laps to go. That time by the start-finish line. Eyes turn up front to the top 3, who are about 2-3 car lengths separated from each other when they get down. And there's a yellow caution flag. Trouble back in the pack. The 00, Richard Haskins, into the outside wall. His Chevrolet, heavy black smoke. Not the first time we've seen engine issues coming off of these wrecks tonight, PD. Heavy smoke pours out of the 00 machine, and a huge checkup on the front straightaway. Looks like it may have started with the 89 car, and 4 wide at one point as everybody was trying to find a way through there. It looks like the 89 got contacted, a side-by-side battle, got sideways, was able to hang on to it, but the 3-4 wide trying to get around it, 9 machine went to the inside and just drove straight to the right rear of that 00, and unintentionally did appear, but Jackson Lewis just took Richard Haskins out of this race essentially, because that 00 heavy contact, and he's on the pit lane as well.
Real tough break for him. Looks like Jackson was just trying to miss that car in front of him, did not do the greatest job, got down a little bit low and got into the 00. Tough break for him. When they restart here, they will have about 10 laps to go. Things that the question right now. The 23 is out front and has the clean air, but Justin Fuller, who has seemed to have such a fast car tonight, is waning in 3rd. The 3-time champion has not won the season, and we know that's bothering him. He wants to break through and get in victory lane, but can he find a way around that 23? And another thing we got to ask ourselves is that 33 sitting back in 7th, does he have enough time to make havoc up front, or will he just have to settle for a top 5? We do not know, but we're about to find out when they go green with around 10 laps to go, upcoming soon.
you talked about it. It is the laps to go that a lot of these drivers are fighting against. And how about Christian Pedersen? Started this race 12th and maybe, didn't look at him as one of the top runners because of that fact that, again, we were a little bit rushed getting live, but he was second fastest in the practice session, so he does have speed underneath the hood of his Chevrolet Camaro. He has himself up front, and he did a very impressive job of being able to pull away and hold on to the gap over the 92 of Tony Monge. Surprised that Justin Fuller kind of got up there to third PD and stalled out. That's not saying much considering you to be top three. You got to be going pretty fast. You got to be pretty consistent. But the 51 machine almost stuck in that spot. Don't think he has the best car. I think the 23, you have to consider him the car to beat. But now is the point in the race where it's not going to be a question of if you use the bumper, if you use the chrome horn. It's going to be more of a matter of fact of when. And how do you execute it? Do you move that guy in front of you up out of the way? Or do you, just punt him into the outside wall? Gonna have to find out. This is the highlight of short track races under the lights, is when we come down to these late race restarts. Believe it may be right on 10 to go. Again, have to reiterate that if we don't get a caution within the first 5 laps, after 5 laps to go, so once lap number 96 starts, caution would end this race under yellow flag conditions.
Very true that is, but they're going to be racing so hard. I honestly see another caution happening. These guys are just going to be racing so hard, so close. It could happen. It's racing. Sometimes it will happen. But one thing I do not expect to see is these guys race stupidly. I expect to see them race smart, and I expect the front to race so amazingly that we're about to see a great battle here between the 23 of Peterson, the 92 of Monge, and Justin Fuller. And who knows, maybe Sweeney can get up there and wreak some havoc. And we do not know. Anyone that is on the lead lap currently has a shot at a top 10, if not better. And we are about to see as they bring down the restart to you, Evan.
So it is going to be the 23 of Christian Pedersen on the inside, the 92 Tony Monge. And it's going to be these two who have the best crack at it. 51 on the inside of the second row. Pace car down. 69 is going to be restarting in fourth. All over the back bumper. A lot of contact. And because of that, the 92 of Tony Monge is going to have the advantage. Justin Fuller was underneath the bumper of that 23, and now Pedersen has to go on the attack. And now big trouble in 1 and 2. We got a couple cars hard into the outside wall. We're still wrecking. 79's up in front of Borges. A couple of them in the fence. The 7 of Matt Wright, Dale O'Neill as well. And just like that, Christian Pedersen to second, Tony Monge to the top spot. And a couple cars going to be in the fence down there in 1 and 2 after big havoc. All started with a 3 wide, but the 21 machine caught in the center of it all.
My oh my. Tony Monge has to be sitting here in amazement. He has had this race placed into his hands, but can he hang on? We will find out in this restart as we will look at that wreck, though. That was a very large one we had back there. It looks like as the replay will come up, the wreck looks like it started around the 7 car. He was racing very hard for around 5th, and the 21 just got his bumper a little bit, and he just went up the track. And so many people piled into him as people were trying to check up for the wreck, and it just created a huge one here from USA. But what it does do is set us up for around a 5-lap shootout. And as Evan hit on earlier, if caution comes out in that time frame, this race will be over. So these guys are essentially racing for the win. Any lap could be the last. But can Tony Monge hang on in what has been a very not expected, I guess you could say, run to the front from him? We did not expect him to get by the 23 on that restart, but the 451 pushing the 23 really hurt him, and now the 92 is in position to possibly steal this race from the 23.
And it was the driver of the number 33, Clint Boyer, Justin Brooks II, a.k.a. as the 21 machine did not get going at all. Brooks went to the inside, made it 3 wide, and Clint Boyer, Jeff Gordon, and Jimmy Johnson there as they went up into the outside wall, and the 33 drove on by, and then again, big junk behind them. Impatient, can't blame the 33 machine because it is late in the race. You don't have time to pull over, stop, let everybody get their tires under them, and get back going. Coming down to the checkered flag, obviously a little bit of desperation. Justin Brooks, although he is top 10, not used to be that far back in the pack.
Yeah, and he will be about 6th on this restart, or maybe that's 7th, I do not know. but he will be able to get through this field possibly if they wreck some more, and that is what he wants to do. He has not been denied yet this season. Will he be denied tonight? He is not looking too good right now, sitting in 7th. That's confirmed. But you never know. Sitting up here, who knows what's going to happen on this restart. They know a caution ends the race. If there's a wreck and Brooks make it through, he could win, or maybe he could just drive his way up to around 5th or 4th. But nonetheless, great drive for him. He has simply just picked off these cars one by one and came from about 22nd after that one wreck all the way up to 7th. So good run from him.
And now we get down to the point, as lap number 95 going to be in the books this next time around. That if the lights go off, it is going to be a 4-to-go restart. A caution at any point would end this race. And again, you mentioned Tony Monge, who, again, one of our drivers that maybe we overlooked by the fact that, again, trying to follow the storylines of Justin Brooks, the second, and the number 33 machine, and as well with Justin Fuller, that Tony's had a strong car, 5th in practice, 4th on the grid, almost a sleeper, a dark horse per se. He's been up here minding his own business, and he was able to capitalize on the 51 machine. Again, the way these front of these cars are, as the lights are off in pace car, 51 PD was essentially under the bumper of that 23 of Christian Pedersen, tucked up underneath the back bumper of that machine, and lifted the back tires up off the ground. 23 was unable to go. 92 went on the green. He finds himself in the control position on the inside. And this is going to determine who walks away with a HAAGTV 100. Final restart coming up at 4 to go. The iRacing Ford First Mustang pace car ducks down to the safety of pit road right there. Field in control at the 92 at a quarter number 4. They all punch up. A lot of beating the bank, and green flag back underway.
92 did not get going greatly there, but he still will clear the 23, and Brooks is making moves. He's up to 5th already. Is the 23 will give him a shot, and Brooks gives the 51 a shot. They're racing side by side for 3rd right now, and that will single file up early. The 51 looks underneath the 23, but will not get there, and here comes Brooks up to 4th. Brooks is driving through this field as the 51 gets through the 23, and what this has done, the leader, Tony Monge, has started to pull
contact for second.
Contact
51 hit him in the door, and I think because they're battling back here, Petey, the leader may be able to squeak away with it. Tony Monge with 0.3 of a second at the start-finish line. We're side by side battling for P4. Chalmers Parker, Justin Brooks, side by side, and it is going to be the 33 who's going to force the 41 nearly into the fence for that position, but 2 laps to go. The 92 leads this bumper to bumper for second. 51 and the 23 going to be going at each other, but it looks like it is Tony Monge's race to lose. Hard into the inside wall, down the back, caution. This race is done, and it is going to be trying to get a number on that car that's in the wall. Looks like Blake Rowe. Hard into the inside wall. He had some assistance from the 137, or rather the 37 machine. It doesn't matter without the caution. Regardless, Tony Monge, he now catches the iRacing Ford First Mustang pace car, and for the final time, PD is going to enter quarters number 3 and 4. And for the first time on the year, we're going to have a different winner. The Season 4 of the Upstate Racing League Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series. Round 3 of 16 from USA. The HAAGTV 100 going to go to the driver of the number 92, Tony Monge, checkered flag at the start-finish line.
Wow, he just did an incredible job there, and big congrats to Tony. You drove the wheels off on that final restart. On second, we got Justin Fuller, third, Christian Pearson, and Justin Brooks did not seem happy with Tony Monge. We did not know why. He wrote it into chat, but I guess there might be a story there with that. Something happened earlier in the race, but he did not seem happy in chat with the 92.
So Monge is going to take the checkered flag. We'll step away for a commercial break, get some of the bills paid, and we will come back to talk to our podium finishers. Tony Monge in Victory Lane post-race show. Coming up, you're watching LSR TV. Back live here at the USA International Speedway, where the HAAGTV 100 comes to a close, and Tony Monge going to put it in victory lane. Unable to get a copy on him with his radio, as he is already taken the trophy and looks like he's headed home. But we're going to get another opportunity to talk to our in-race reporter tonight, Eric Haag, title sponsor on tonight's race, going to bring home the number 98 machine at the end of the night. Eric, is going to be a P23 result, not that second half that you were looking for. Walk us through what happened.
Things just got crazy on the front stretch. I think it was the 89 or someone get halfway turned. I thought he was going to be coming down, so I went to the high line and ended up running into him, and then we just kind of split four wide when this is only a two-lane track, and two people tapped, came up and took me out, so not really the finish I was looking for.
It was a tough night, and again, had a solid run going when we talked to you before. Your thoughts on the racing, obviously being out there as a driver, but then also from a perspective of being the, the title sponsor on tonight's action as well.
On the racing itself, it was a lot of aggressive driving, not much taking, too much taking and not much giving, but honestly, coming from a title sponsor standpoint, I couldn't pick a better group of core guys to be sponsoring. This is a great league, and hopefully our races going forward are going to show that better than the first three.
All right, Derek. Well, I know we talked to you. We only got a really chance to talk to you once throughout the race. We had a couple of yellow flag talking points that we were getting through into booth, but thank you for being our in-race reporter. Unfortunately, not the result you wanted before we let you get back down there to the garage area and get headed out for the weekend. Sponsors and shout-outs, the mic's yours.
I sponsor my own car, so it's kind of weird to give a shout-out to myself, but
it gets the job.
I really don't have much of a shout-out.
No problem there. Well, again, thank you for title sponsoring tonight's action. Again, unfortunately, not the result you wanted, but we'll keep an eye on. Hopefully, we'll see that number 98 Ford Fusion up front these next few weeks, Eric.
Yep, thank you, guys.
Now going to attempt to get a word with the driver of the number 33 machine, who again has gone back-to-back so far on the season. Petey, you're down there with him. It's going to be a P4 result for Justin Brooks.
I've caught up on pit road with Justin Brooks. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Petey?
I'm doing pretty good, Justin. So that race, we saw you get wrecked twice almost, fall to the back, but you drove your way through the field both times and made your way back to fourth. Tell us how you did it and what your race was like.
Well, I'll start off how the race was like. The race was all right to begin with. I was trying to be patient after I messed up qualifying, start from 17th, drove up to 5th, and next thing I know, I get dive bomb going a corner, pushed up the track, and spun out. And, that's fine with me or whatever, but I drove from the back again, and it seemed like every time I got around someone, I'd get hit or something like that. I mean, I don't think I had any fenders on the car that was, left undamaged. This body's where I take the body off and just throw it away completely, but it was mainly, like I said, I was starting to be aggressive at the end. I think that's how I got before. If I was driving hard as I could, the car was fast and all. The guys brought me a great piece to the racetrack this week, and we just kept getting caught up in other people's incidents. I mean, you just trying to be patient, and everybody else wants to run into you. I mean, you can't really do nothing about that.
Definitely, Justin. Do you think if you did not get wrecked both them times, you had something for race winner Tony Monge or Justin Fuller or Peterson?
Oh, yeah. I was just sitting there riding behind them guys, just trying to, like I said, be patient, wait to the end, sitting fifth, sitting pretty, and I just, like I said, I got spun out going a corner. If it wasn't for that, I was getting ready to pass the 21 in front of me and get ready to set up the other guys. I already had the game plan set in my mind, and like I said, I'm pretty sure I'd have had something for him. Like I said, the car is real fast. I mean, I could put it anywhere and be fast with it, just as fast as the leader. So, but I mean, it wasn't meant to be tonight. Just gonna have to work and qualify next week and not messing up and maybe not be in this position again.
All right, well, it was a lot of fun watching you drive through the field. Before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank, Justin?
Yeah, I want to thank everyone who makes this happen. All my sponsors, Short Track Racing Network, Elliott Realty, Big Eagle Racing, Fast Track Sims, Double Clutch, Justin Brooks Designs, all the guys over at Wheeling and Dealing Motorsports that help support me every week. I want to thank all the admins over here for a great job they do with doing all these races. It's just hopefully we can, like I said, learn to not have bad races like this anymore, because I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now. I'll say it on the broadcast. If I get hit again like that, you guys are gonna see a nasty little thing get inspired. I'm just trying to be patient all I can. But thank you guys again for bringing me down here to interview me after this race. Sucks you guys couldn't get a better race than that for the broadcast.
Thank you for joining us, Justin. That was your 4th place finisher tonight, Justin Brooks. A little frustrated with the way the race went, but meanwhile, down on pit road, Evan Pasoko has caught up with your 2nd place finisher of Justin Fuller.
You were cut up down on pit lane with the driver of the number 51, Justin. It's going to be a P2 result for you tonight, not the start to the season that you were looking for so far, but getting back up there, had a shot at the win. Walk us through those final laps.
It was a good race up front, pretty hard to pass. Yeah,